What is going on, traders? Welcome back to another YouTube video. So today we took a fantastic 200-point drop on the NASDAQ, which was executed to absolute perfection. As you guys know from these trade breakdowns that I've been doing, I've been more of a very quick intraday trader, but this trade that we took yesterday was a very short-term swing, if you can even call that. I held it during the night because it was very late for me. I executed the position. I watched it for around 1 to 2 hours. Price was playing out to perfection. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to put my stops in and I'm going to let price do its thing. I've got my targets. I've got my stops in place. It's simply in the hands of the markets now. If we lose, we lose. If we win, fantastic, we win. And it ended up dropping incredibly well, giving us 230 points, which is just absolute perfection. Trading one contract, we managed to close the day up $3,400, which is phenomenal. One of the best trading days trading the NASDAQ I've had in a long time. And this shows the power of holding your trades and not just closing your trades out of emotions. The market gave me no indication for me to want to secure my profits early. Therefore, I was able to hold my trade and it played all the way down to my take profit, which was the prior day lows, and they got liquidated to perfection. Entries and exits again on absolute point. The exit point was perfect because once I'd secured my profits, price then started to move against me and I didn't want to sit in unnecessary drawdown before it was then going to go lower. So I secured the profits right at the lows, which I will break down fully for you guys and show you the reasons why we took the trade and how you guys can learn to take trades exactly like this. So with that being said, let's jump straight on the charts and get into it. Let's go. Okay, so on the charts, looking at the NASDAQ, so we took this down for an incredible 230 point move, which is beautiful. And the good thing about this trade was the elements were incredibly simple. When you know the plan and when you understand the plan, you understand the retail traps and the liquidity grabs, that's then when it becomes simple. So the key to your success in it being able to catch these positions is managing your emotions to hold the trade and having that good technical understanding. Other than that, it really wasn't that difficult of a trade. So let's just break it down for you guys, show you guys why exactly I entered where I did and why I held for so long and why the markets allowed me to hold for so long. Now, so coming into yesterday's session, we were very range bound. So I wasn't expecting this to be a huge trade. However, it ran very well. And the reason I executed where I did is because I actually could have got a nice entry, but my time, which was here where I took the entry, was, I think it was around 12:30 p.m. So I actually entered the position and I watched it for a few minutes and then I ended up actually just going to sleep. I had my stop loss in place and I was more than happy to do that because it was turning out to be a swing trade as opposed to more of an intraday trade. So let's just delete the execution so we can see this properly. So what I noticed is we had a high up here and we had a low down here. And I was simply looking for the NASDAQ to come down and take out the daily lows. As the US session opened, price pushed up really well. As soon as we then also took out, if we go down to the 5 minute, as soon as price was starting to take out this high here, I was looking for short opportunities because when we're in this range, what we're going to do is we're going to come and take the highs and then we're going to come and take the lows. I'd also noticed this massive key level up here, as well as price was starting to respect this level of resistance right here. So we got this resistance. We had one rejection there. So I think that's, again, a retail trap. Retails go short there. They put their stops above there. So price comes up, manipulates them, then has that push down. And it was anywhere above that region. I was starting to short with my stops right above here. And I was very comfortable to have my stops up there because I expected we could come take out this high. But if we come take out these highs all the way up there, then I don't want to sit in that big of drawdown. I would rather be out of the position. Now, from what it looks like here, it looks like to you guys that the NASDAQ created a double top, and the NASDAQ did create a double top. So why did I hold if my entire plan is to trade liquidity grabs and not to hold double tops and double bottoms? If we take a look at the S&P, as you guys can see, we took that exact candle and exact level out to perfection and dropped very aggressively then on after. The hourly closed super bullish and then very bearish. And that to me confirms the fake out. That's where I'm more than happy to hold. Price pushes down, retests. That was actually even more confirmed entry if you were able to be on the charts. However, I wasn't because I was snoozing. But if you were able to go short there, once it flips bearish, comes back for the retest, stops go above the highs, boom, shorts done. That's how you pretty much would have played it. Even here, look at this. You have a low, price breaks the structure, breaks this structure, comes all the way back up for the retest. You go short right there. You're playing it down into prior day lows, and then we're just absolutely melting and dropping. Exactly the same thing here on the NASDAQ. Broke this low, broke this low, so we broke all structure. So at any retest to any significant level, that's where then you go short, come down to take out the lows, bam, there's 180 points, which is huge, especially when you're just trading 1 to 2 contracts. I just posted the profit on my Instagram story, which I will pop up here, to show you guys the power of being able to hold your positions and not needing to trade crazy contract sizes. So I was only trading 1 contract, and I was just swinging to my overall bias and sticking to my plan. We started to pull back later on in the session, but this was not during my trading times. And this is then when I wasn't on the charts. And then once I got up on the charts this morning, we were then trading all the way down there. And that's then when I started to cover my positions. As you guys can see, bought back the shares there, and then prices pretty much just started to range there. And the reason that I'm not going to hold this even longer is because price is now taken out this low. The S&P has taken out massive daily lows. So this is now a potential region where we could see price push back up. In terms of seasonality, October is typically a strong month. October to pretty much the rest of the year is typically a strong month in the indice world, as well as stonks. So in the coming trading days, I'm going to potentially start to consider some big swing long moves. So I'm pretty excited for that. But I'm not going to predict too much. I'm still going to execute the shorts if the shorts are there. But I'm just keeping that in the back of my mind that the seasonality reports show that we're typically coming to a bullish end of the year. But that right there is an incredible position. And I think, as you guys can see, the technicals, again, once you know the liquidity grabs and you understand price taking out higher lows before having the real move, you'll be able to start executing positions exactly like this. And there's no reason why none of you guys couldn't have taken this position. You would have saw, a lot of people would have seen this. We just close the executions. Let's go on to the 30-minute where we can see it properly. A lot of people would have seen that 30-minute close as a huge bullish pressure, and they're seeing this level as, well, we're breaking this resistance. Once price comes back down, I'm going to go long there and I'm going to take this even higher. However, you're not watching the S&P as well. Even if you're just trading US 30, you still need to be watching the NASDAQ and the S&P, because these things are going to happen all the time, where the NASDAQ will create the double top, the S&P will take out, therefore the NASDAQ doesn't need to, and then that's when we have that massive impulsive drop like we did on the NASDAQ yesterday. So price pushed down really, really well, came back up and gave another fantastic entry right there. Personally, wasn't on the chart, so I didn't trade it. And then even if you just shorted there, you go short there, playing it back down into these daily lows. There's a 186 point move, which is huge when you're trading futures contracts or whichever contract size you may be trading. Even if you're trading a funded account, you can still trade the NASDAQ like this. You just have to understand the lot sizes and the contract size on the broker that you're trading. I know a lot of these prop firms at the minute have ridiculously low contract sizes, so you need to trade something like 50 lots for it even to be worthwhile. But whenever you go into your MT4, go onto your quotes, click on NASDAQ US 100, whatever it's called, go on details, and then check the contract size. If the contract size is only 1, then you're going to need to trade very big lots in order for it to be a worthwhile move. But if it is just 1, I would say test it so you can understand what the lot sizes are, because again, on some brokers you could open 1 lot, and on the NASDAQ that could be huge. Whereas some brokers, you could open a 0.01 and that would also be big. But then on some brokers, you could open 1 lot and that's like nothing. So understand the contract sizes on your broker if you want to trade like this. I personally have been trading this on Tradeovate, which I made that video on how you guys can set up Tradeovate and start trading from it as well. It's a fantastic platform and it gives you the daily performance, which you can look to see how your day went, and it just makes things a lot cleaner. So if you guys have any question about this trade whatsoever, then feel free to leave a comment below, ask me anything, and I'll be more than happy to answer your guys' questions. And this is the beauty of the markets. Last week was an incredibly slow and choppy week. I believe I had 2 red days and I was just getting caught up in awful price action, getting chopped and churned around, and then one trade comes around like this and it wipes everything out of the water. But the most important thing is managing your emotions so you can continue to execute the way you do. So when that trade comes around, the winner that will outweigh all the losses, you're able to execute it. You don't hesitate and you don't miss out on moves just like this. But in the meantime, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the trade breakdown, and I will catch you next Wednesday for the next one. Peace.